Greetings, I'm Captain Rage, and no, I haven't forgotten about this series. Yes, Rimworld has finally returned. This has been a long time coming, to be perfectly honest. There's been a lot of reasons, partly just waiting for certain mods to update, and also a little bit of illness, and, well, just my focus elsewhere. So this took me a lot longer to get going than I originally intended. But it's finally back. So, Rimworld, for those who don't know, is a colony survival game. Think of it essentially Dwarf Fortress-like. And this is going to be episode 0 of Rimworld, meaning that there's going to be no actual gameplay in this, and you'll want to skip ahead to the next episode, which we'll be releasing on the same day as this one, and there'll be a handy card thing in the video somewhere linking to the next episode, where we're going to be focusing on world generation here and also getting our colonists set up. And in the next episode, we'll start with them actually landing on the map and start the actual game. So if you want gameplay, skip ahead. If you want to see me futz around with generation and, him and haw about, oh, this guy doesn't look that good, but I don't really have anyone that could talk to animals. Well, here you go. So we are going to be starting a new colony because this is a new series, and we are in beta 18 with the full release actually looming probably in the next few months. So just new colony. The mod list will be in the description eventually. I will not get it out the same day that this releases because I want to focus on getting this out finally. So crash landed, pretty much bog standard here. I do not have combat extended or combat enhanced or whatever they're calling it these days for this particular run because it does have a beta 18 release, but it's still buggy. And after how Bitter End turned out, where the entire game just kind of crapped itself, I don't want to risk having combat extended installed. So next, and we'll be at the world screen in just a moment. We'll go rough once again. Pretty standard here. One of these days we're going to have to do Randy Random, but not today. And I'm not going to have permadeath mode on just because of recording, but I'd go pseudo permadeath. I may give myself a mulligan in the early game if things aren't going all that well with just a random event, but I'll tell you if I pull a mulligan. So next, and we'll go to here. See, random seed. Stone face, that sounds fun. With a full globe. And yes, it will take a while, but you won't have to sit through it because we'll be jumping ahead right now. Oh, look, we're back. Okay, so this is our world for beta 18. You may notice there's, well, for one, names all over the place. Well, that's a beta thing. That's not a mod. But you also may notice that the factions are sort of, well, for one, there's a hell of a lot of travels on this planet. But two, they're sort of grouped together, sort of. You know, green is here, yellow and pale green are kind of actually mixed together, really. And seems to be a lot more of them. Well, that's a mod. I'm running with 7 factions, which that also includes potential, I think 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Mostly because any more than that, it starts to get a little bit crowded. Looks like we pulled only one pirate faction, which is interesting, but also 5 tribals and 1 Outlander union that pretty much hates me, but not fully hostile yet. Well, that's interesting. So, did we want to go near the... Well, hang on, let's take a look at this again. The yellow and the bright green like me. Pale yellow and pale green dislike me. I wish I could change these colors so they'd be a little bit more obvious which is which. So I may want to try to settle here in case I piss off this one Outlander faction. I would still have these guys who are, yeah, they're the most friendly towards me. So that means that likely this area somewhere. Okay, so we would be on the equator, which means permanent summer, which is a new thing in beta 18, where essentially latitude matters a lot more in the seasons, the seasonal swings. I mean, they always mattered to some extent, but there's a permanent summer around the equator, so it would be like this band right here would always see about stable temperatures, which is both a positive or negative depending on where we land. So let's see, we have a jungle, a swamp. Haven't really messed with the swamps in testing. I toyed around with trying a desert, but I kept running into issues where I just did not have any fertile soil over half the time, or not enough in a concentrated location. Yes, I have mods that could get around that, but that would require a lot of rushing of my research. And since we don't have combat extended, we can actually go a little bit more relaxed on research. So let's see. So our options really are temperate forest again, or an arid shrubland, which we haven't done in ages now that I think about it. We have another temperate forest over here, the Zam range, mountain range that breaks up this forest quite handedly from coast all the way down. Matter of fact, it looks like there's a pass right there with the river. Oh, gotta move that waypoint, and I'm just seeing, yeah, there's two passes, it looks like. Here and up here with this river. This river must go be like rapids or something. It's just impassable. That is interesting. So let's take a look-see here. We have desert, and then we also have extreme desert. I wanted to try desert, but I kept having false starts with my start because I just wouldn't get really any sizable amount of fertile soil. And it just was pretty much a non-starter. I mean, I could probably do it, but for coming back to the game after a while, I kind of want to just go arid shrubland and be done with it. As a change of pace from just hitting temperate forest all the time. Let's see, there's also one over here. Let's take a little bit of measurement. From here to here is 3 days. Oh, no, I want to disable that. Okay, so I would say a 3-day trek out is about the maximum until you start getting drop pods. And I want to keep the Outlander faction in play. So, I'm just thinking here. I think we have to go with the Alligator Plateau, which is an awesome name, by the way. We go here. That's a day travel, so this little hill range would be a day out. And that's about a day out, with that being 2 days out. So, and we would still have a travel base a day and a half out. So 3 days around trip, that's about as far as we could go with normal food because it starts to rot. Unless, we just research a travel ration of some sort, either packaged survival meals or pemmican, which is also, useful, or just take raw veggies, which would last a lot longer, but I imagine would not be all that useful, or all that happiness-inducing. Or we could just stop along the way and camp, which I do have that mod enabled. Hunt and cook along the way, which is also a strong possibility. Yeah, I'm thinking the Alligator Plateau somewhere. It's little south of the equator, so we should be okay. We have the Lucas Sea here with the Hentium Mountains to the northwest of us. Yeah, this seems like an interesting spot. We also have a tropical swamp nearby. Shame this wouldn't come into play, really, for weather or anything. Because that would be really interesting, Being close to a swamp increases disease, even if you're not directly in it. So I'm thinking about somewhere along this road, or this road. And we also have temperate forest here as well, which that is hardly as much fun. But we set up like here on these large hills, then we are probably less than a day. Yeah, half a day out. So, half a day out, rest somewhere around here, and then half a day back if we must collect wood. That seems like our best option, to be perfectly honest. So large hills, I'm not really seeing anything major here. It's going to be a pretty stable temperature. 72 during the winter, which, is pretty warm. Gonna have to do air conditioning all around, which is going to eat into our components. So that means we're gonna have to do some speak while I do not. Basically, just join together compartments for apartments and dormitories. But I think this will work. So next, and we have the new colonist screen, and this is stock, but some of the things aren't because hated work types. Yes, we have. That mod still enabled, so we're able to force someone to do jobs that they hate. It'll just piss them off. And we also have some new, a couple mods for different traits and all sorts of fun stuff. So let's see what we get first. If there's any keepers in the 5, 6, 7, 8 of these guys. So hates violent, pretty much a non-starter. Have to have someone that can deal with violent, especially since gun turrets are locked behind a lot of research now. Let's see, hates dumb labor, so that would be hauling essentially. A quick learner, poor medic, psychically dull, likes animals, pretty shit otherwise. No. Okay, so this is a new trait. Doesn't fear the dark at all, so being in the dark probably doesn't affect him, and he's trigger happy, which aim time is down, but he's also shit at shooting. Okay, pessimist, negative trait, jealous, so has to have the best bedroom. We'll keep you on backup because you are interesting. You hate dumb labor, but pretty good elsewhere. Hates artistic and plant work. He's a wimp, which means that he'd be down pretty easily, which is probably not great for us, but he's also really good at melee, so if we armor him, maybe it'll work out. He's kind, and he's an inventor, which is also a new trait. He has a lot of work speed up, a lot of global work speed up, research all way up, even though his intellectual isn't that great. He also has psychic sensitivity and a mental break threshold increase as well, so double-edged sword. Let's see, sluggish and claustrophobic. So he doesn't like mining and doesn't like being in close places. Psychically sensitive, that's a double-edged sword, usually bad. Oh, hates violent, no good. And you hate everything. So we have one potential here. Actually, two potentials. That wimp is pretty devastating, though. So we're going to re-roll these guys, see if we get anything. A brawler and fast walker, but hates dumb labor. Interesting. But I'm just looking. Really good at social. We just look at our overall skills. I mean, that this is also stock, by the way. Gives you an overview of the major skills and just what you have. Yeah, I'm just thinking about this. Dumb labor is a a pretty bad start, especially since they have fast walker. But fast walker brawler is interesting. We'll keep that for now. Steadfast, masochist, lazy. So he likes getting hurt. He's lazy about it though, and he's steadfast. So he is less likely to be mentally broke. He's good at social, good at artistic, good at crafting. Not particularly skilled in combat at all. We'll hold on to you because masochist is an interesting one. Lazy is a bit of a bummer though, but steadfast is also really good. No. This would be amazing if you didn't have the wake up addiction. The wake up addiction is going to be hell to deal with. And there's no way for me to really deal with it originally. Or just from the start, so we'll throw you back. Maybe I should have put you in the left behind. Hello. Ooh, low pain tolerance. Granted, not as bad as Wimp. Because see, negative 65 versus negative 33. And Sucker, so granted, I wouldn't put you in that anyway. In that situation, because your social is terrible. Intellectual, and artistic, I could deal with. I'm not sure if that cuts you off from crafting though. But you're a good grower, decent construction, really good boasting, decent cook. You're a keeper. And you're a good shooter. Yeah, you're a keeper. So I'm thinking about this one because that lazy is really going to hurt, but I think we're going to stick with them, which means, well, let's take a look at this. Our shooter, we have a good shooter, decent melee with a passion for it, even though you do have a low pain tolerance. That could be a bummer. We have no real good researcher right now. And that's going to be a bummer big time because we do need to research a lot. And there's no freebie colonist anymore. Yeah, I'm thinking about throwing this guy back. Because we do have a decent crafter, not amazing, but decent enough. Well, we'll throw you into here. Now, which one did it give me? It gave me you, so. Yeah, I really don't like how they did this. So, I'll keep the brawler, even though not amazing. Artistic could be useful eventually for generating cash. We need the good social. And we could do with a decent meleeer. I'm going back and forth on this because brawler is good at the outset, but eventually it just gets outstripped by guns. And we have 3 pretty decent ones, even though that pessimist is terrible. Pessimist jealous. So basically we have to focus immediately on dealing with this. Wait, who's our grower that has good skill? Okay, it's you. So pretty much have to keep you no matter what. I mean, you're also young. You're pretty good. I'll deal with the lazy. Because that steadfast and masochist would, yeah, you're going to be happy no matter what. Especially with that scratch scar. I didn't even realize that. So, you're good. You're good to go. You. I'm going to re-roll the brawler. Nearsighted. So, can't shoot for beans. Has low shooting skill. Uncouth, so pisses people off. Granted, you're not going to be the diplomat anyway. Reroll. Wow. Asthma, scratch scars, bad eating speed, bipolar. You do have a green thumb, though, so it's not all bad. Just mostly. A psychopath. No empathy whatsoever. The suffering of others don't bother her at all. Yeah, let's not. Carcinoma, growing, major growing in his heart. No. Cold Lover, that's not going to work here. Haggler. Cold Lover's re-added with a mod, by the way. Even though having a second doctor would be nice. Wish I could see this without a particular person so I could see what I'm missing. I mean, pretty much we're covered. We just want to, someone that's decent all around. Depressive, psychically sensitive. That's just asking for trouble. Particularly teetotaler, so you just can't give them drugs. Aesthetic, psychically deaf with a fast worker. Oh, hates violent. Fuck. Perfectionist, which... Wow, look at all the bonuses and negatives. Refuses to accept less than his best in any endeavor, no matter how long it takes. He's likely to fail when doing something, but he's less likely to fail when doing something, but works slowly. So essentially, global work speed down across the board, but he's more likely to succeed. So he would be a decent surgeon, for surgeries that aren't, time sensitive. Repair chance success, construction chance to success, that sort of thing. But no. Sluggish and abrasive. A medieval lordling. Actually, sluggish isn't as bad, but abrasive. Deep sleeper, possible flow, and teetotaler. A diplomat, that could be good. And a hard worker. Doesn't care. Crap at shooting. But doesn't have to keep the melee weapons if we start getting good guns. Once again, we don't have a good person with intellectual. I mean, that's going to be our downfall for at least the time being. Granted, that does start climbing like crazy. So it's not that bad. I may do this. This would give us a second grower, give us someone good at mining, which we have someone decent, but not particularly good. Good social. So it would give us a second warden. Particularly with that diplomat. It just, if we try to get him to doctor, it's going to piss him off, but I think we're going to do with this. Okay, so we have names, because yes, we still have the name list. Oh, can't do that here, so in Dom Fox, I'll change that to the full name, hopefully. Once we land. Kitty. And you are Alfie. Yes, I don't, female segregate, even though that kind of worked out because the two female names are on female colonists for once. Mostly because, I would have far less female names, and this tends to be a lot closer to 50-50. But we are done here, so following up this will be episode 1. As always, constructive feedback is greatly appreciated. Did I re-roll someone that I shouldn't have? Am I leaving someone good behind? Particularly, it was leaving this guy behind a bad idea. Should I take this one? Risk the psychically sensitive, even though the optimist is pretty good. But yeah, violent. Yeah, dislikes violence. Ooh. Oh. Alright. Hates all the work. So yeah. Am I leaving someone behind that I shouldn't have? Did I re-roll someone that I shouldn't have? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you wish to join this absolute madness, well, you know what to do. Leave your name down below and I'll add you to the name list, and I will resort it every time I add names. So even if you just add the name, you're not going to the bottom. You're going wherever randomizer.org sets you. But yeah, we are done here. Subscribe if you wish to see more of Rimworld or my other content. I'll see you on the planet surface in the next episode.